Hi, I'm Brian with Pioneer Builders. I just got done doing a duct blast or a duct leakage test at this house, and I wanted to explain why it is that we do that. Why is that important to make sure that our ducts are sealed up? Well, if you think about it, the way our ducts work is you have typically a variety or a number of supplies that go to different rooms. And then each of those rooms might have its own return, or it might be one centralized return, or maybe there's a few throughout the house. What that really means is air, which is a fluid, is being pushed into the spaces, and then it's coming back and cycling through. You might think of it like if you had a hose that went to your exterior hose bib, and then the end of that hose went into your kitchen sink. And when you open that up, you could allow for recirculation of the water. Now, what would happen if you took a bunch of little pinholes and poked holes in that hose? Well, obviously, water is going to come out of that system, and it's going to be made up for generally from a municipal supply or from a well. When it comes to our ducts, though, if there's a bunch of leaks, it can be pulling air from all sorts of places. It has to make it up. Remember, 1 CFM or cubic foot per minute, about the size of a basketball, 1 cubic foot per minute out has to be made up somewhere. And so this allows us to far better control our environment. What we do at Pioneer Builders is 9 times out of 10 we use Cascade Aero Barrier to seal up the building envelope. But if you don't have sealed ducts, that's a problem, because again, when you think about it, that fluid that's up there is part of the house conditioned air. I like what Christoph Irwin says. He likens it to us swimming around in a fishbowl. We don't think about it that way, but that really is the case. Now, we live in climate zone 4C here over in Washington State. It's a relatively mild climate. There's not a whole lot of enthalpy involved. So we do have some hotter days, but it's not like living in Texas or Arizona. We do have some colder days, but it's not like living up in northern Alaska. We don't have a whole lot of humidity for most of the year, so it's not like we live in Louisiana. Additionally, our ducts are all insulated, so in a sense, it would be like taking that hose that's outside and putting pipe insulation around it. So that fluid doesn't have to be heated up in the wintertime because it gets cold, and it doesn't have to be cooled down so much in the summertime when we're using air conditioning. Now, when we do our final envelope test, we have to have all of our registers open. That means we have to have the supply grills open. We have to have the return air open. So you can see how important it is, even though we're using aero barrier for the building envelope, all of those things get sealed when aero barrier does their leakage, their work to seal up the envelope. So we open it up, and now we're able to see that the entire system is sealed up properly. In this particular case, we have about half of the duct leakage that's allowable by code. What the test is you use a fan and get up to 25 pascals of pressure. That's a unit to measure pressure. It's not a whole lot of pressure, but it's probably more than this VRF system is ever going to see. Washington State also has a tighter standard than the IECC, or the International Energy Conservation Code. So Washington State Energy Code is already more stringent, and we're half as tight as what we need to be to meet code. So the building envelope is tight. Now we know that the comfort delivery system is also highly efficient. So hopefully you enjoyed this. We covered a lot of little topics. Feel free to subscribe if you like this. I cover a lot of different topics. We're a general contracting company. We build houses from the foundation all the way to sales, and sometimes we even hold them in a rental portfolio. So we approach our houses from a different perspective than even a custom home builder or a remodeler or something like that. We truly have a vested interest in these houses, and we get to control pretty much the entire process. If you have any questions, comments, feel free to put those below. Follow me on Instagram. I'm at Pioneer Builders Inc. You can also DM me if you have any questions or comments. I'm not just here to teach, I'm also here to learn. Thank you, and I hope you have a nice day. And also, if you DM me, feel free. I'll probably email you back too if that's a way that you'd like to communicate. All right, thanks. Have a good day.